From the land of the rising sun comes the fiercest fighters, the hardest hits, and the brightest lights in pro wrestling. Joshi isn't just wrestling, it's heart, passion, and rebellion packed into every single match. So lace up your boots, crank up the volume, and get ready to dive into the world where idols become icons and legends are born in the ring. This is where passion meets punk and wrestling meets pure chaos. Welcome to the Cult of Joshi with your host, Raja and John.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Cult of Joshi. I'm your host, Raja, and I'm joined by my co-host, John.
Hello.
And I need everyone here to keep your arms and legs inside the ride. This is not a drill. It's happening. We're not even going to bury the lead here. Utami Hayashishita is back in Stardom.
Yes, it's not fanfic that we create on a bi-weekly basis, probably.
We haven't been talking about it for the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's not something we dreamed up and was just hoping for the best. It happened, man.
Oh my God.
It happened, pal.
Listen, that moment is going to live rent-free in my head for the rest of my life. Just the vision of it. Oh my God.
It somehow encapsulated everything that they're so good at.
Yes.
And it got me, man. It really got me.
It got me too.
This was, no matter how many times we've watched it throughout the day.
I'm getting chills right now just talking about it.
Just hearing the music, having Saya Kamatani in the ring, and then hearing the music and her face, because she's the best.
Just the true look of what the heck is even happening.
And then Utami coming out onto the Korakuen Hall hallowed ground. And that crowd.
Oh man, the sound they made.
The crowd roaring. The roaring for a Japanese crowd during a promo is something anyway. But roaring. And then the Utami started. And it was just, Utami, Utami. And you could see it on her face. She tried no selling as good as possible.
She did not want to smile. She was trying laser focus.
But her facials were so good. And Utami's facials are subtle.
Yeah.
They're very subtle. Saya Kamatani, not so much.
No.
She had, like, the beautiful thing with Saya in the ring was you've seen Queen's Quest. You've seen Broken, Hurt, Saya. You've seen Is This Over, Saya.
Yeah.
You've seen Cage Match, Saya.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen all of it right there. You've seen crying in the ring during the long goodbye.
God, the long goodbye. Jeez.
And, you know, all that stuff that we all endured as fans and people who love Stardom and love these girls.
Yes.
You know, we all had to endure that 2 years ago. It's just insanity.
Yeah.
That this happened. And then when they're in the ring face to face, the most poetic return you could have against those two.
Oh, it's Aphrodite. They're back together, but not in the way that 2 years ago we ever would have thought they would be face to face again.
No, and then you think about the path of these last 2 years, how it took. I mean, when Utami left,
divergence.
Yeah, when Utami left, she was she was the queen.
Yeah.
There was no debating who the queen was. There was no debating who the alpha in that relationship was.
Yes.
And then when she left, you know, Saya Kamatani, the lonely girl with the flag, we got secondhand embarrassment.
Of her just carrying the Queen's Quest flag around all by herself.
Being the only member of Queen's Quest and carrying that flag gave us, I remember the secondhand embarrassment.
We're like, oh, Saya,
and then
please.
The autograph session that may or may not have happened, who knows, but the autograph session with people being mean. And, you know, and then we got what we have now, the Phoenix Queen. And it's taken not only the Stardom world, not even just the Joshi world, but the wrestling world in many ways, taken by storm. And there's not many people who follow wrestling. that do not know who she is.
Exactly.
And the way this is now is there's more people that know who she is than ever knew who Utami was.
There are people who have onboarded onto Stardom in the last 2 years who might not have any clue, really, who Utami Hayashishita is.
There's been so many fans come on board that I guarantee you that there's people going and looking it up.
And trying to figure out how to pronounce her last name.
And it's one of those things, though, that they're going to know. They're going to find out. They're going to see the footage.
Yes.
You know?
Things are going to be brought up. I guarantee it, because you can't avoid the past.
They're already bringing it up just by having them in the ring.
I know. And we're going to go into everything that was said and everything when we get to that point in the show, because we are going to talk about the full Korakuen Hall show. But how could we get on here and not just immediately talk about this moment? Because there have been some moments in the past couple years in Stardom, but this, man, not just the moment itself, but the implications of what it's going to lead to, and the things we're going to get to see, and the level of mind games that Utami played on her way out of Marigold. I am completely, she is, oh my God, I was cracking up. That girl, I swear to God.
It's so funny. I mean, just having we could talk about that part now.
We could.
Just having Big Daddy come out and saying,
my daughter's going to be a freelancer.
Yeah.
He was like, he just put it out there, which I thought was weird at first. It's like, why are you even commenting? I mean, I know he's in the public eye and everything, but just to come out and be like, yeah, Utami's going to be a freelancer. She told me.
Yeah, probably like Mirai.
And yes, Utami making it a point to talk about Mirai recruiting her to Michinoku Pro. And 3 days after her big goodbye match in Marigold at their second anniversary, she walks into Stardom with that glorious theme song. I've been dying to hear the theme song ever since she left. It's one of my favorites in all of Joshi. Oh, it's just, it takes a certain level of good humor, and there are hurt feelings. You've seen it all over Twitter today, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the wrestlers are not too happy with the way things went down, but sometimes that's just how you do business.
I mean, it's such an incredible wrestling thing.
It is.
That I love it. And honestly, how would she go out any other way?
True.
From the other one, because you're going to get nothing but guilt trips and,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there would be a level of trying to talk you out of it at least.
And get destroyed by everyone,
Yeah.
You out here having a hummingbird pin her or something.
She did lose on the way out. I mean, she did the job, right?
Yeah.
And Utami's good about that kind of thing. But I understand to an extent why she wouldn't want to just come straight out and say, I'm leaving Marigold and I'm going straight back to Stardom. And to their credit, okay, Okada has come out and said Utami is not signed with Stardom. She is not a Stardom contracted wrestler, okay? But she is planned for their upcoming tour, and he doesn't expect her to wrestle for anyone else. So I don't know. That's not much different than having a contract with Stardom.
My favorite part was the part where he said she's not going to wrestle for anyone else.
Yes. He's like, we don't expect her to wrestle anywhere else.
We didn't talk to her beforehand. That would not have happened.
Yes, but we did see some, you know how Japanese culture is, though. So it's very side-handed, backhanded sort of passive aggressiveness, which is understandable if you feel like you've been slighted by someone, right? We kind of saw a similar thing back in the day when Julia left Ice Ribbon. Sometimes these things happen. And people try to follow their path in a way that aligns with them. And
people get over it.
Yes, and there was a lot of support as well from a lot of people, obviously, because there are a lot of people who wanted this for Utami.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of the support. I didn't see a lot from the Marigold girls.
I saw a couple, just a few. Like Nagisa Tachibana and, of course, Rossi's statement, his singular line
I've seen
statement.
What did Nagisa say?
It was just one of those very nice, well, these things happen and you have to go your own way and blah, blah, blah kind of thing.
So there was nothing just pure.
No, there was nothing purely mean-hearted or spirited. There was the Jungle Kiona one, that tweet that felt a little like
that one was about the harshest one.
She did call her uncool or doing.
Yes.
She said she did something uncool. I saw support from Samiri and Natsu, like that kind of thing, and of course, the Stardom girls have their feelings about it all. So it's a big deal when something like this happens in Japan and Japanese wrestling. So it's shocking. Obviously, we didn't expect it to happen this quickly. I don't think anyone did.
Well, I mean, I've seen some, fans, call them fans.
Yes.
But that want to be unhappy about this or,
of course,
but here's the thing, man. If you're a competitive person, right? So any field you're in, if you're in a field and whatever your expertise is, and you're going to want to be with the best and biggest company that does what you do.
Absolutely.
If you don't, then you're not very competitive.
Right. If you're happy to settle for number 2 or less than that.
So, a lot of people, I think when all that went down, there was a lot of confusion. They had just come off one of the worst, most bombastic years ever. And a lot of things were going wrong. And I think that they were looking for a scapegoat, like what caused this to go wrong? What caused this? What was the problem?
Right.
And they thought that they had picked that problem and they went the other way.
Yeah.
And,
they thought they were doing what was best for their careers at the time, 2 years ago, when Marigold first formed.
And who could have predicted, right? That from the ashes.
Rosa Phoenix?
Yes.
Well, I guess we know better now, and Utami is back in Stardom to kind of jumpstart her career and restart this whole thing. In Stardom, there's a lot of implications that come along with that because, let me tell you, Queen's Quest was never officially disbanded, okay? That was not the stipulation. The stipulation of that match was whoever lost 4 members had to leave the faction. So technically, Queen's Quest is still a faction. It just doesn't have any members right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? So that's a funny little nugget that you put out there that I hope somebody remembers.
Yes, because it's different if it's like, if you lose, you have to disband. That's totally a different thing.
Here's the deal. Okay, Raja.
Yes.
I absolutely love chaos.
Yes.
I am an agent of chaos.
I know.
I wake up every morning somewhat hoping that aliens have attacked.
Yes, just something to throw a spanner.
I don't want people to die, but I wouldn't mind to turn on the TV and see aliens tickling 1,000 people, to pee in themselves. I don't know. Just I want there to be chaos.
Right.
It's a problem.
Right.
I'm one of those people that when there is a a huge crazy natural thing going on.
Yeah. You're like, ooh.
I'm kind of excited.
You're not a status quo kind of person.
I can't stand the same thing.
Yeah.
I hate the mundane. I hate all that.
Right.
So I really love when something comes in and just jiggles everything.
just throws a wrench in the gears.
And Utami found a big ass wrench.
She did.
She threw it right in the heart of the gears.
Oh my God. This was crazy. Honestly, this whole show was really amazing and the matches were all fantastic and there's some great storylines coming out of this.
Yeah, they did so good to build on this. And honestly, I looked at this card when we were covering it the other day.
Yes.
Because it's only been a few days since we did a show.
Yes.
We had to do the show.
2 days, 3 days.
3 days. But I looked at the card and I was like,
yeah, okay.
It's a lot of tag matches. That's great. It's a good tag.
They surprised us.
and boy, howdy.
Yes, exactly. So we need to talk about this card or else we're going to go on for days about what could happen, what potential there is, because that's just who we are. We love to fantasy book and talk all day about possibilities. But Stardom was in Korakuen Hall on May 26th, 3 days after Queen's Dynasty. We kick off the card with a tag match, Akira Kuragane and Suzu Suzuki versus Natsupoi and Sayaka Kurara. And of course, this is our first preliminary look at the next red belt match, where Suzu Suzuki will challenge Sayaka Kurara for the World of Stardom Championship. This was a fun match. It was very evident that they're going the Suzu Suzuki is a very strong, very brawl-heavy competitor compared to Sayaka Kurara's more flowy, flowery type of wrestling. So Suzu really took it out of her in this match, and Suzu actually ended up getting the win here. At one point she countered Sayaka's spear with a spear of her own, which I thought was really cool, and then she won the match with her classic German suplex hold that she loves to use. So Suzu's already got a pin over the champion, which just further cements her challenge for the red belt. But Sayaka Kurara seems excited about this. Like backstage, she was talking about how strong Suzu is and how having strong opponents raises the value of the red belt. So she's going to keep taking on challengers. And once she beats Suzu, she's going to go even higher. And Natsupoi was just excited to get a chance to face Mavita Loca because she doesn't get to do that often. So it was a fun tag match to open up the night.
Yeah, it was. Akira, I think, got a busted nose during this.
Oh, man, she did.
Hard-hitting match, fast-paced. I think that it's sometimes Natsupoi to me is strange.
Yeah.
and Poi was just acting, I don't know. And Carrara, you're talking about backstage, Carrara acted weird too. Like after the Poi walked off. I don't know.
Yeah, there's always weirdness going on in Cosmic Angels.
It really is. It's such a strange dynamic.
It is. And especially now that they've got that whole leader thing on their mind, I think that's definitely going to be a big focus for Natsupoi.
It was brought up, man.
In particular.
It was brought up, and yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Maybe Poi's feeling a little threatened.
Well, it's the same thing that we were talking about with the rookies.
Yeah? The rookies are weird right now.
The rookies have all been offered slots.
Yeah, I think most of the people who aren't in factions kind of have an offer out there, and they're all like, "Oh, I gotta think about it."
It's so weird that I mean, because you think back to the past, and someone asks somebody, they're like, "Oh my God, yes,
yeah,
I've always wanted to be part of your faction."
Or they straight up ask a faction, they're like, "Please let me join,
yeah,
please."
And right now we have a whole lot of like people that have these offers out there, and it's just like, yeah.
We say a whole lot is 3 people, but that's a lot.
It's a lot.
For Stardom, because they don't have a huge roster.
It's a lot.
Speaking of one of those people, in the next match, another tag match, we saw Rion and Waka Tsukiyama versus Kikyo Furusawa and Maki Ito. And this is just the funniest thing. Poor Maki Ito is just completely despondent. She is not in the room with us. She has left the building. She came out
literally
barely singing. She didn't really dance. She did a few little, like hip movements in the dance. She's got black all under her eyes. She's just completely, this loss to Sayaka Kurara has completely thrown her for a loop.
There's this little gif, and it's so funny, of this little Asian baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she is throwing a fit. She's crying. And when it comes time for her routine, she completely snaps into it and does her routine.
I think I've seen that.
and it was so cute. I love it so much because it just speaks a lot to their culture, but it also is just adorable.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of when I watched when Maki Ito comes out and the music's playing and she's kind of, doing the things she's supposed to do. She gets in, she does the movements.
Yes.
And even when she would tag in, she tried her best.
She tried
to keep it going, but there was so much fun stuff. I mean, when she got in the corner and did the cutest in the world thing.
Yeah, she did the call, in the center of the ring, got in the corner. She asked who the cutest in the world is. And when everyone yelled Ito-chan, instead of raising her fist, she just stops and is like 1,000-yard stare. And then she looks down in the camera and she goes, I wonder if it's really true.
Yeah.
Who is this? This isn't our Maki Ito.
we talk about fashion a lot.
Oh, we do.
We can't help it,
yes.
But there was some new gear.
Oh, Kikyo Furusawa has new gear. She looks so cute.
It's amazing.
She was in full form today. Like, her dancing and everything was top notch. I think she was trying to pull Maki out of the rut because she can tell that there's something wrong with her, obviously. This whole match was just Maki Ito kind of in a daze. And Rion and Waka recently have been faced with some pay cut issues. Rion for stomping on the referee's feet recently. She's been doing that a lot. So they're like, listen, we're just going to cut your pay until you cut it out.
Yeah.
And Waka having her pay cut for poor training.
Yeah, I would imagine it's poor training of
Rion. Yes, like you didn't train your younger to act properly.
So that was all funny and what you expect the result of this to be, but
yeah. So the end of this match, Kikyo Furusawa actually hit Maki Ito with her own stunner, and that allowed Waka Tsukiyama to pin Maki Ito, and losing this match just sent Maki Ito completely over the edge. She just completely lost it, tore her bows out of her hair, left them in the ring, and ran off backstage.
So very interestingly, Rion picks up the bows. And this is like the stuff you got to pay attention to, right?
So small.
So she picks up the bows and cleans them up out of the ring, and she keeps staring at them. And as she leaves, she stares at them.
Yes.
So backstage interviews, when Waka's sitting there and Waka's kind of out of it, and she's like, I won. It's great. She walks off, but then Rion says nothing, but she walks in front of the camera going by looking at the bows. She's still looking at the bows.
So Rion is one of those who had multiple offers out on factions, and it was Cosmic Angels who invited her in, and she was like, I have like 3 people who want me in their faction, so I gotta think about it. And we haven't seen or heard much of her in respect to the Ito Respect Army lately, but we have seen her in the past very much into being with Maki Ito and Kikyo Furusawa.
I can see it happen. She's going to show up with those bows in her hair.
I hope so.
But the funny thing was, as the day went on, Kikyo has a missing poster out for Maki Ito.
Maki Ito's gone missing. Her profile picture on Twitter is completely black. We don't know where. She's not picking up her phone. Kikyo can't find her, so she put up a missing poster.
No, I mean, it's I would do that too. It's fun,
It is.
It's
very Maki Ito.
You talk about people that reinvent themselves. Maki Ito, without changing a damn thing, somehow makes herself interesting after every match.
Yeah.
Like there's always something there that is like, I want you to be in this with me. I want you to learn this dance move. There's always something she does.
Yeah.
In the in-between.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's so good character-wise.
Yeah.
And that's such a rare quality to have. Like when you have it, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a kind of different version of Maki Ito when she eventually shows back up.
It's going to be fun to watch.
In the next match, we had a 4-way tag team match, which saw Koguma and Hazuki. See, I can't even say it because it's unnatural. Koguma and Azumi versus Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori versus Kyoka Kotatsu and Shiri versus Itsuki Aoki and Rina Yamashita. So super fun 4-way tag match. It was very action-packed, as you would imagine, with all 4 people in there at a time. There was a lot of bear and cat things from Koguma and Azumi. Itsuki Aoki loved being a bear. Rina Yamashita did not. And of course, Shiri is always against the silly bear shenanigans. But Aya Sakura actually won this match. She rolled up Kyoka Kotatsu pretty quickly for a pin to win for her and Yuna. But after the match, Shiri remained in the ring and got on the microphone, even as everyone was leaving and going backstage. And she said that she had picked her next challenger for the IWGP title, and that was Rina Yamashita.
Hell yeah.
Rina came storming out the back. She looked really emotional that Shiri was offering her this opportunity. This match is going to be happening on June 20th at The Conversion in Yoyogi. As we know, The Conversion's always a great show, but even backstage, they both kind of had, they talked about their past together before either of them came to Stardom. And Rina talked about how Shiri always supported her, even though she wasn't very good when she was first getting into the business. And interestingly enough, Shiri decided that this was going to be a one-shot battle, no preliminary battles before the 20th of June. So
that makes sense.
She wants it to be big.
Yeah, and it will be. I think that these two are so incredible. Mm. So much expertise. And I mean, my God, they've been going out of, the wrestling business for a good bit. So, yes. And the cool thing is they're the same age. So, they're mates. This is going to be great.
They have a lot of history, I think, is why they don't feel they need any sort of preliminary. They know each other already.
We love Rina. And Rina has the ability to have match of the night every time she goes out there. Mm-hmm. So I think having them two together, I think it'll be awesome. It's gonna be so hard hitting.
Oh yeah, from what we've seen from Shiri recently and the matches we've seen her have, and then just Rina's personality in general, I think it's gonna be an incredible match.
Shiri's had a resurgence.
I'm trying to imagine Rina Yamashita as the IWGP Women's Champion, like the face of women's wrestling for both Stardom and New Japan. How crazy would that be?
It'd be about as crazy as us having Shiri versus Utami.
That's definitely gonna happen. Backstage after this match as well, Aya Sakura was talking about how this Saturday they're gonna be having a show in her hometown of Kobe, and Ane Kanaya interrupted and said that she had been healing really quickly and trying her best because she wants to come back in time for Aya Sakura's triumphant return to Kobe. So Aya's like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll make sure to talk to Okada and get a really special match or a really special card planned out for this Kobe show. So I'm excited to see how they work Ane in with Cosmic Angels, whether it's with them or against them. But I imagine Aya Sakura will have a pretty big presence. And just piggybacking off of that, on Sunday, we have a Kyoto show in KBS Hall, which we all love. So
Ooh, you love it a lot. So
KBS Hall's so beautiful.
It's awesome.
It's one of the most unique, gorgeous wrestling venues in the world. So
I love it too. It's great.
Always excited. I imagine Hanako will feature heavily there, and Miyu Amasaki normally does, but she hasn't returned yet. So I don't know if she'll be back in time for this weekend show.
Yeah, hard to tell.
After that, we saw a tag team match, Xena and Saya Ida teaming up against Matoi Hamabe and Hanan. So this is a prelude match to the Wonder of Stardom championship match between Saya Ida and Hanan. And as you can expect with Xena and Saya Ida on the same side, there were a lot of chops in this match. Very heavy, very loud chops, specifically on Matoi.
Yeah, I mean, when you saw this lineup, that's the first thing you said.
Yeah.
It's a chop team.
It's a chop team.
And by God, did they chop. And Xena's chops are so freaking loud, dude.
I don't know how she makes that sound.
It's like she's slapping like a big empty metal barrel.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
It's so hollow. It's so crazy.
Didn't know a human body could make that sound.
Matoi really, she took a lot on this.
She did, yes. But Xena actually won this match. She hit a German suplex hold on Matoi to pin her and win the match. So a big win for her heading into this whole Wonder of Stardom title picture. Xena seems to have some interest in the belt after this Hanan Saya Ida match is over. And backstage, Hanan actually talked a little with Matoi about the potential of joining Stars. And this is yet another one of the rookies who's like, I need to think about it before I make my final decision. I believe Hanan said, that's okay, you'll be Stars eventually. Like, she's totally convinced.
She's the most positive person in the world, so.
And I would love to see that. Stars definitely needs some additional members in their ranks.
Everybody does.
Yeah, it's kind of like the factions are all still kind of in flux right now. I think maybe that's why the rookies are being kind of cautious. Either that or they've secretly got some plan going on underneath the surface where they're all plotting to like form their own faction and they just don't want to tell anyone. I don't know.
It'd be funny.
It would be pretty funny. But Hanan Saya Ida coming up, they haven't had a singles match since 2022. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch them go head to head for the first time in 4 years.
Well, you know that both of them give 150,000%.
Yes,
so
they do. They're all heart and soul and passion. In the next match, another tag team match, Emma Maishima and Starlight Kid teaming up to take on Rana Yagami and Tomoka Inaba. So during this match, it was a really cool match, actually. Starlight Kid is the perfect sort of foil for these two because she attacks the knee so heavily, and Rana and Tomoka are very kick-heavy wrestlers, so she was very much going after their legs this entire match. Tomoka actually interrupted Starlight Kid's SLK salt in the middle of the ring, which you don't see very often. Once she gets that clap going, she never really misses it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can count twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
That I can remember.
Yeah, that I can remember.
She did end up hitting it after that, but Tomoka did get in the way the first time. And also, shout out Emma Maishima for hitting a really awesome looking sling blade during this match. I love the sling blade.
It's one of her favorites.
As a wrestling move, and I haven't got to see a lot of it recently, so seeing her do it just made me really excited.
We've not seen a good one in a long time.
No, like we've seen like variations of it and stuff.
We've seen that thing Mina does, they call a sling blade.
Emma did the full turn Full turn sling blade.
Mean is like if somebody grabbed a sling blade and threw it at somebody's head as they went past them.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's like, because this had more of the penta.
Yes. I harken back to the penta sling blades of old.
The penta sling blade is just because you can actually see the 1, 2. It's so awesome.
Yes, so shout out Emma Maishima. Keep doing that. Keep it up. Tomoka won this match. She pinned Emma Maishima after hitting a vicious-looking spin kick on her. So Rana and Tomoka with the win. Backstage, they actually had a little talk about their tag team because Rana was kind of talking about how she and Tomoka haven't been teaming a lot and things like that. And Tomoka's like, well, I really want you to focus on the future of Stardom title, and I personally want to focus on growing stronger, specifically by Shiri's side. So I don't know how much of the Rana Tomoka tag team we're going to be seeing coming up, but it's cool that they're both got their little goals and their things that they're working on.
I agree.
And of course, Starlight Kid once again was like, Emma, you going to join Neo Genesis? We're going to support you.
Starlight Kid was like, I'm on the cover of Weekly Pro Wrestling.
Yes, look at this. She had it with her in the backstage comments and everything. I love it when one of the girls is on the cover because they don't let you miss it. And I'm always like, yes, I will buy that because I have a collection of Weekly Pro Wrestling covers, specifically from New Japan and Joshi Wrestling, of moments that I watched or witnessed like myself and I don't want to forget. So I have a pretty big collection of those magazines, and I love them all.
I do too. I mean, I love everything about them.
They're so good.
They're great collector items.
Yes. So that brings us to our semi-main event of this card, which was a 10-man match. Hanako, Maika, Fuuchan, Hazuki, and Sariano versus Azusa Inaba, Ruaka, Natsuka Tora, B. Priestley, and Saya Kamatani. So we can just appreciate this babyface team for a moment because that's a lot of star power on one team there. I love having Hazuki in the mix with Sariano and then Maika and Hanako being in there. I think Maika and Hanako have really become like a force to be reckoned with in Stardom in general. And then of course we have Hate on the other side. Match-wise, there wasn't a whole lot to this match. I don't think everyone even got a chance to be legal in this match. It was very short for a 10-man when you have this many people that need a chance to wrestle. The main focus of this match was Saya Kamatani versus Fuuchan. That was like a big moment in the match, and Saya actually pinned Fuuchan with the Star Crusher to win this match for Hate. And backstage afterward, Fuuchan was talking about, I've never lost to someone who would take such cowardly practices to win a match, talking about Hate's use of weapons and things like that. I thought that was funny. But the babyface side didn't seem too disappointed about losing. They had a lot of fun. They liked teaming together. And then after the match, everyone left the ring. Saya Kamatani's in there by herself because she won. She's having a little talk. She starts talking, like 2 words get out. And then the music hits. Utami Hayashishita's music hits. And I think people were in disbelief at first because there was like a kind of reaction at first. But as soon as she walked out, the sound that those fans in Korakuen Hall made, and this was not even a sellout Korakuen Hall like we've been seeing. Like, this is 3 days after the pay-per-view. People are like, we don't have any money to buy tickets right now. So it wasn't like the size that we have been used to in a Korakuen Hall, but it sounded so much bigger in this moment than what it looked like. It was crazy, the sound that they made when she walked out.
I think it maybe 50 less than normal.
Yeah,
yeah. It was, you wouldn't be able to tell from looking at it. It was still a really good sized crowd.
It was, yes. It's always a good sized crowd.
But yeah, it was super roary and just.
And then the Utami chants.
Yeah, man.
And we've already obviously talked about this whole thing in length at the beginning, but I do want to talk about what they said to each other, because Utami got in the ring, and like you said, Saya's facial said it all. She looked like she was seeing a ghost, like she went through the 5 stages of grief really quickly as Utami was coming to the ring. She just looked devastated and confused, and then kind of fed up Like, she was like, what on earth are you even doing here?
She's amazing at her facials.
Yeah, like, you could tell the switches going in her head, and,
Yeah.
like, she just started cycling through all these
She
emotions.
knows how to deliver every one of them.
And Utami was very stoic as she is. She's very regal, very cool, you know, that's her thing.
Little movements of her mouth.
Yes, you could tell she kind of wanted to smile. She's seen her old friend.
She had one in the ring that was almost like a doll.
Yeah, so
just a little subtle.
Utami gets in the ring, and they spend a good 2 minutes just looking at each other, and it's like you didn't even have to say anything. Like, that moment of them looking at each other kind of said it all, but they did have some stuff to say to each other. Utami went first. Well, Saya first asked her what she's doing here, but Utami said that she has been watching Saya this whole time, and she's been very happy to see all of her success, but she also felt that she couldn't lose to Saya, so she had no choice but to come to Korakuen Hall today. Saya, I don't think feels the same in that sentiment. She basically asked what Utami's been doing this entire time, and she said she's disappointed in her, and then she left. She left pretty quickly, too. I think she was getting a little emotional, and she didn't like that. So she stormed out on Utami, and then she left Utami alone in the ring to say that she would like to wrestle in Stardom once again, and asked for all the fans' support, which they seemed happy to give to her. So, backstage, Saya said a little bit more, basically the same thing, but she said it in a different way. She said, it's funny that you want to come back here and wrestle in this Stardom ring when you haven't even produced any results in the last 2 years anywhere. And it's like, ouch.
Which is a lie.
Yeah, she was a champion.
Yes.
She was the Marigold champion for a long haul there.
Yeah.
So she has had results. And I know it's more of a stab at Marigold in general, probably, but she called her naive. She said Utami's naive, I guess, thinking she can come back and they can just pick up where they left off. But I don't know. She seems emotional.
When Saya Kamatani's being disrespectful or saying something like that, to me, it's always her being defensive.
Yes.
And it's just always her hiding, because when she's confident, she is in that whole you know, like this very much seemed like her trying to convince herself to me.
Yeah, when she's very quiet and reserved and like
Quick.
She's basically whispering to herself. Yeah. It's like she's feeling a lot of stuff and she's trying to hide it. But Utami came backstage and talked about how she's going to be starting from scratch in Stardom, as she should. And her first challenger approached, which was Akira Kuragane, who said that she had wanted to wrestle Utami before she left, but she never got a chance. So now she wants to be her first challenger back in Stardom. So I imagine that'll be a match that we'll be seeing very, very soon.
Maybe at KBS.
I can't believe we're getting Utami Hayashishita Stardom matches.
I know.
I'm so excited. I haven't been this excited about something, and that's a lie. I've been excited like all year by Stardom. What are they even doing? Like, run the Tokyo Dome already. Just do it. Let's just go. Just announce it.
When we were talking about matches they could put there.
Yeah, we did talk about this match.
We said that match.
Oh, I doubt they'll wait for that now, but
I don't think they'll come back to it for a while.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
You think they'll put Utami down
in
the bottom?
I don't think that they'll come back to it for a minute.
We do know that Saya is going to America in a couple weeks, so she'll be gone out of the picture for a minute while Utami's kind of wrestling her way around the bottom of the card. So it would be cool to see if they kind of like stretch it out and give it some room to breathe instead of just jumping straight to the singles match.
Make them want it, baby.
I want it already. I want everything. This is so cool. It's one of the coolest feelings that I've had this year so far with wrestling, and that's after just watching a banger pay-per-view this week.
Yeah,
like, oh my God.
One of the best pay-per-views of all time. But yes.
This week has been intense.
It has.
That wasn't even the end of the show, though, because we still have a main event for the Artist of Stardom Championships. Fukigen Death, Rina, and Konami put their belts on the line against Lady C, Hina, and Ami Sourei. And honestly, watching Lady C and Hina's faces when they were coming out for this match, literally seconds after their former leader from Queen's Quest, who basically abandoned them, just left the ring, they looked like they had been having an emotional moment backstage.
Yeah, but they also were getting ready to have the match of their lives. And, this match was incredible.
Oh, man, it was so good.
This match was so good, and the heat was so amazing because Lady C has for a long time been kind of a Saida type character in Korakuen Hall. And people just get behind Lady C.
Yes.
She has a whole legion of fans.
She does.
And, that happens a lot of times when you have somebody they beat like a dead rug.
The underdogs always have a following.
It does have that happen, but she's got such an amazing story from being a home ec teacher all the way up to where she's at now, right? And just from not giving up, man. 6 years.
It's 6-year career and never held a championship. But man, when you see this match on paper, you kind of just like hone in on the fact that Hina and Rina on the opposite sides, right? You're like, that's probably going to be the story of the match. Nope. Lady C took center stage in this match. She fought a good majority of it here.
There's so much story to this, though. I mean, Lady C versus Rina was the story of this match. In fact, it felt like a Lady C versus Rina singles match.
It did.
But as Lady C had talked about going into the match, she's always been the bridesmaid, and she said that there was one comment that she kept going back to and thinking about how Lady C's always going to be the challenger and Rena's always going to be the champion.
Right.
And that was driving her because, in the past 3 years, she's unsuccessfully, challenged for the future title, for the new blood belts.
Yeah.
And now,
now she's trying her best. And we have talked about how Lady C's really turned it on in the past year. Like, she's been getting better and better and really finding her style in the ring in a way that she hadn't had it before.
Yeah, but that's all been against Rina.
Yeah.
So
her
this
top challenger.
This was like all such a big deal. And I love the fact that if you were looking at the pictures, we see you, of the people watching this.
Yeah.
They were sold out up top. It's what we would have called a curtain sellout.
Yeah. So you got like Hanan and Saida up there. You got Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori up there. Like, everyone was up there wanting to see this match. And it was such a good match.
It was.
Like, all of these ladies came out and they wrestled their hearts out, especially Lady C and Rina. And there were a couple of close calls in this. Like, Lady C was in the hydrangea. She took the Pink Devil. Like, thank God for her teammates getting her out of these situations. Like, this trios we've been talking about, Lady C, Hina, and Amisori, have really become such a cohesive team. And that proved to be what buoyed them to the win in this one, because Rina ended up taking a backdrop suplex from Amisori, a mad splash from Hina, and then a big thrust kick from Lady C, all in unison for the pin. Lady C pinned Rina, and God's Eye now holds the Artist of Stardom championships.
We'll give you a big clap on that. So, amazing moment.
Yeah.
Just an amazing moment. The match, even at the first, and we've as you said, we've loved this combination of
God's Eye.
God's Eye. Oh my God.
Not Queen's Quest.
Oh my God. Oh.
We got Queen's Quest on the brain.
You've done this to me.
I'm sorry.
But we've loved this combination, and we've been talking about it for weeks now. They've looked really great. And even at the first of this match, they were doing some Neo Genesis type things.
Yeah, a little crisscrossy action.
Some really elaborate shit, though.
Yeah.
Like stuff that I was like, dude, I'd get lost.
Yeah, I was like, I would crash into somebody for sure.
But it was great. It was fast. It was stiff. It was incredible. And there was just, the heat helps everything. Having the crowd completely bananas the whole time.
Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, the crowd was ready to riot when it looked like Hate was going to do the normal, hey, we're going to cheat. You're going to get the ref and we're going to win.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. And as you said, big champions, new champions.
New champs. So yes, this is Lady C's very first championship in her 6-year career. So congratulations to her. I love this trios. I can't wait to see what they do with the artist belts. They have said that they want to be the most exciting Artist of Stardom champions in history. So I'm hoping they really bring some big relevance and big challenges to these belts, because they did get lost there for a little while Hate was doing all their other big things. So we haven't seen a ton of artist title matches in the past year or so, and I'm just hoping to see the division really come to life with these new champions.
Yeah, and Hate now
absolutely has no titles.
Yeah, they're out of belts. They're out of gold. That stinks for them.
It's wild.
It is, because especially considering where we were.
Yeah, they were the
not
Horsemen.
6 months ago.
They had every belt.
Yeah.
Basically.
Literally all, except IWGP, but every Stardom belt is like right there on Hate. But yeah, this Korakuen Hall, crazy card, crazy storylines, Maki Ito, Shiri and Rina, all the rookies trying to get into factions, and of course, the Red Queen herself returning to Stardom.
It's so nuts. It built so much, and it had so many cool stories. It just kept you entertained the entire time.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's better than having a 29-star match.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'll take storyline over, like, the craziest, most technical match on the planet. Like, give me emotions.
Yeah, it was great.
Make me feel something.
It was absolutely great. I loved it.
It was. So we do have those 2 shows coming up this weekend for Stardom, are the next shows. So on the 30th, it'll be in Kobe, and then on the 31st, it'll be in Kyoto. Both of those shows will be live on Stardom World if you want to check them out and see what the fallout from this craziness is. But we just had to come on here and talk about this. We could not wait another second, because obviously this was one of the craziest things to happen this year so far in Stardom.
and just real quick, since it's the end of the show, All In. Oh my God.
We're close to All In.
It felt like All In.
It did.
It really did. Double or Nothing was an amazing pay-per-view, and one of the greatest, if not the greatest, AEW pay-per-view ever. It was one of those flow-wise. There was nothing on this show that had people going, I loved it all except that, that sacrifice to, the spaghetti monster at the end of it. It was an incredible show, and there was some great ladies action on there too.
Oh, there was. There was an Owen Hart match where Athena advanced to the next round over Mina Shirakawa, and the 4-way match where the big story was Chris and Hikaru Shida finally blowing up. Tekla's still the champion, which is the most important thing. So
some really
just
good
great
stuff.
Action.
Absolutely cool stuff. A lot of stuff going on there. And
Yeah, it's been this past week with the Marigold show, the pay-per-view, then Double or Nothing, and now this. Just one of the craziest weeks in wrestling this year so far. And I can't wait, because we're only a couple weeks out now from the conversion, which is building up already to be just an insane card. And then we're going to jump right into the 5-star Grand Prix. And of course, we got Forbidden Door coming up and the rest of the Owen and All In. And it's just so much good stuff is happening.
Absolutely.
And we are going to be here with you guys covering it all, because that's what we love to do. So hopefully you are following us on all of our socials at Cult of Joshi. And if you're not yet, we would love if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel. Honestly, even if you listen on Spotify or Apple or iHeartRadio, anywhere else, if you could just go subscribe to the YouTube channel just to support us, that would be great. That'd be awesome. We'd love that. But seeing all of your guys' support and comments and everything on our videos has just been, it means the world to us. So thank you so much for all of your support. And make sure you leave us a comment about all of this. I'm sure you all have a lot to say about this whole Utami situation. I can't wait to read all of your comments about it. But that's all we have for you this time. I'm Raja. He's John. So long from the Cult of Joshi.
Bye!